My twin brother Matt and I have both been in this gig economy, really the side hustle, since 2015. And in this video, we're going to go over some of the most frequently asked questions, including money and problems in this video. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike. This is Matt. This channel is dedicated to your success in this gig economy, the side hustle. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. And for the very best accessories for any niche in this gig economy, check out my Amazon storefront, that linked down below. So there's a lot of different niches, a lot of different apps in this whole gig economy, in this side hustle. But probably one of the biggest questions you have, or at least when you're getting started, is money. How much can I make? So first question, how much money, or really what's the best way to make money in this gig economy in one sentence?
Well, I would definitely say get out there. And no matter what you want to try, whether it's rideshare or food delivery, just get out there and try it, because you will immediately, literally on your first order, start making money. And that's the cool thing.
And I'm going to answer in 2 words, trend analysis. So it doesn't really matter which app, like you kind of mentioned, what app you're driving for, understand how that marketplace performs. And you'll get that as you get the reps in, but the more and more deliveries you take, study that trend analysis and that data. So money is very important, of course, but I also want to consider maybe some concerns about this whole gig economy, especially as you and I have driven on a lot of apps since 2015. So question number 2, what's your biggest concern in this whole side hustle?
So I would say if you're watching right now and you might be wondering, is it worth my time? So that goes without saying, but you don't know how much your particular market is going to perform until you get out there, like we previously said. So don't worry so much about, well, am I going to make top dollar? Just get out there and try it, and then you can make that call for yourself.
And maybe similar to that, my answer would be leaving money on the table is my biggest concern. Because let's say we're driving for DoorDash. You know, we've driven a lot of DoorDash, a lot of Uber Eats here in Pittsburgh. My biggest concern is, well, hey, if I'm driving on Uber Eats, maybe I can make more money on DoorDash. So again, going back to money, because that's still a big thing for me now, 5 years later, is I'm still always considering the money. You know, that's mainly why we're doing this. So speaking of money, let's go over some numbers. How much money do you think someone can make in 1 week?
So there's a lot of different choices on how to make money, but long story short, what we've seen with all of our rides is it's very common to make around $20 to $30+ an hour. And that's especially true in food delivery. So to make it simple, let's say you're driving 10 hours a week on a part-time basis. That is around, again, 10 hours a week times $20 an hour. That's $200 extra a week at a minimum, and that's driving only part-time.
And I think that's pretty fair, because I know, you work the 9 to 5. A lot of you may work a 9 to 5. In fact, let us know down below in the comments if you really are doing this as a side hustle versus full time. But I'll agree with that. $200 to $300 a week. Now, it's by following the best practices that you'll earn that $20 to $30 an hour. That's very important. If you haven't subscribed, definitely consider subscribing so you can get those best practices. But if you really lean in, if you consider, doing this more than part-time, maybe even full-time, you could probably make $4 or $5, maybe up to $1,000 a week. So as mentioned, there's a lot of different apps in this whole gig economy. So let's talk about apps. Now, you're maybe watching this here in 2020. I want to look at 2021. In your opinion, what do you think is the best app to drive for in 2021?
We are seeing more and more popularity in the food delivery space. These companies, they want you. They want your business as a driver. They want you to drive for them. So my big winner in 2021 is DoorDash. And that's because of the pay, some of their incentives, and the popularity of the orders and frequency that we've been seeing.
And in fact, I've actually asked you in our community tab, I asked simply, what's the best app in your marketplace? I believe we had about 1,200 respondents. Over 60% said DoorDash was their number one. And I'll agree with you, and I'm going to agree with you as well. I would say DoorDash is still, really it was my number one here in 2020, still my number one in 2021. Now, I do want to give a decently close second place. I like Amazon Flex. I've said that before. It's a flat $18 an hour. There is some promo pay. Now, it is, in my opinion, a little bit more labor intensive, but it's good to have in your back pocket if you want some predictability with your earnings.
So another very common question asked to drivers in the gig economy is, tell me the most interesting story you've ever experienced.
Well, especially, I feel like driving rideshare, if you're an Uber or Lyft driver, it's like one of the staple questions from your passengers, tell me a good story. I'm actually going to go back to DoorDash. You know, I drive mainly now in San Diego, California, and my major app is DoorDash. I mean, there's some impressive homes. I'll say, you know, straight up mansions there. I remember one time I was delivering to not only a private community, you know, full massive gate and everything, but a true mansion with this brand new white, you know, Bentley in the driveway. And then it kind of really sets in like, okay, I'm delivering to a real mansion right now. But what about you?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I will always remember this experience. I was also, this was a few years ago, driving rideshare. I picked up this group coming from a restaurant, driving them back to their hotel. Long story short, they requested I play Living on a Prayer over the radio, and we played it, and they started singing. I started singing. I think they gave me a $25 tip.
I was going to say, did they give you a good tip?
Yeah, it was a 5-minute ride, but I'm telling you, if you guys are watching, it was an amazing experience. Really cool.
So rolling right into tips, in just like 2 words here, what's the biggest tip you ever got?
$25.
Mine was $20, cash. Maybe it was a little bit higher on the actual app, I can't remember. But can you beat that? $25, let us know down below in the comments. So it seems like both of our favorite apps is pretty much DoorDash, at least for me in 2020. You know, you mentioned going into 2021 as well. But if you're going to drive for DoorDash, Postmates, you know, Uber Eats, a lot of these food delivery apps, why not just drive for Domino's? Why not just drive for Pizza Hut, something like that?
So think about how unique these side hustles are. There is no manager that you have to report to. There is no uniform. It's a really flexible platform that allows you to really work for yourself. And it's a really unique thing that you could really take advantage of now.
And the thing about that, what I always say is, I mean, is it necessarily hard? No. And I say that's what makes it hard, that, you know, it is not hard to simply deliver, but to make the most money. You know, it's going to be a bell curve of earners, and I want you to be in the top 15% of earners. So I like the flexibility because even on a DoorDash, they're scheduling shifts. You know, there's no shift schedule on Uber Eats and Postmates. You just go online. But even the shifts that you schedule on a DoorDash, you can edit because, again, you have that flexibility. So again, if you're not subscribed already, make sure to subscribe if you want to dominate these food delivery apps as fast as possible. Skip our 5-year learning curve. Consider going to yourdrivermike.com/delivery, making the investment in that course here. But we've seen it. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. If you follow the best practices, you will earn more than other drivers.
Absolutely.
Well, I also want to be realistic here. You know, considering apps, you know, there's a lot of different niches from rideshare to grocery to food delivery to package delivery with Amazon Flex. So going into 2021, perhaps who should not drive for these apps? Who might not be the best fit for this?
Sure. So if you're somebody that already has a completely booked schedule, don't feel pressure. There's no requirement to drive. But if you are someone who really wants a side hustle to maybe hit some of your goals, you first have to get out there. Now, it might not be a good platform for you if you're driving maybe in your particular area and you're waiting a long time to get those requests, whether it's rideshare or food delivery. So, and you won't know that until you get out there. But if there are other drivers on the road, then chances are they're making money. So it's going to benefit you to get out there and try it out yourself.
And I always say, I mean, I've always said, I don't try to fit an Uber Eats app into a DoorDash market or an Uber app into a Postmates market. So you need to get out there. Like you said, you need to see how these apps do in your marketplace because, I mean, we say we have a lot of success on DoorDash. It doesn't mean that DoorDash is going to be massively successful in your marketplace, but maybe Uber Eats will pay you a little bit better. You're not going to know to actually start these apps.
Exactly.
So if you got value in this video, if you appreciate Matt being here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, definitely drop us a like. And again, for the very best accessories, make sure to check out that Amazon storefront link down below. And you can also click or tap the screen right here for our most recent video, and I'll see you in the next one.